Hi
everyone.
everyone. Oh,
Welcome
welcome to
to Modern
Modern
Mom
Monk
Girl.
Girl.
It's your girl Emmy.
And it's your girl Lex. All right, so today we are on episode 8 and we are going to be discussing about the timeline of healing. And we got some topics about that. Emmy, did you want to let us know what they are?
Yes, so our topics for today are: does healing have a timeline? What are things you do to help you heal? What have you learned about yourself? Or what lessons have you taken away from your healing process? And how do you know you have truly healed? So let's get into it. Lex, did you want to start?
Yes, absolutely. So, healing, I do believe that it does have a timeline, and it can honestly take up to a day to even years. There's really no deadline to healing because it all depends on what you're healing from and what you're doing to heal yourself from that situation or experience. And so there's really no perfect answer to when you will fully be healed. And, sometimes you think to yourself that maybe you will just never be healed or you just never really heal from something like that. And sometimes I do believe that it is true, but I think what you can do is just move forward, um, be better, take accountability with what happened and just go from there because it really never has a deadline when you will be healed from your trauma or experience, whatever you went through. And so it's all up to you on how you take on your healing process. How about you, Emmy?
Yeah, so I'm going to yes and to what Lex said. But to me, healing doesn't have a timeline. You could take however long you need to heal. It really depends on the person and how a person heals or how a person copes with the situation. So, like Lex said, it could take you years, it could take you a couple of days, and it all really just depends on how the person is healing. But different situations require different lengths of time or amount of time to heal. Relationships, it really depends, how long you've been with that person, or situations that has happened in that relationship that caused you pain. And yeah, so to me, there is no timeline, but I do think that it isn't good to dwell so long on a situation. Also, like Lex said, definitely take accountability for how you feel. We can definitely, blame the other person for what has happened, but I think when it all comes down to healing, it's really us taking accountability for ourselves and really healing ourselves through this process. Because if we don't heal ourselves, who really is going to heal us, Yeah, so that is what I
Mm-hmm.
think.
Period, Emmy. I also want to agree with that healing does not have a timeline either. I was just thinking like a timeline and then like each section on how you feel, because like obviously in the first stage of what you're feeling is going to be like the most intense. And then like second stage, third stage, fourth stage, and so on.
I get what you
And so I
mean.
was
Yeah.
thinking of like, yeah, of like a timeline like that. But then I think it's both. Healing doesn't have a timeline and healing does have a timeline. It just all depends on how you think of it.
Yeah. All right. On
All
to
right.
question 2. What are things you do to help you heal? All right, I can start off. Honestly, I think it really depends on the situation again, but just things that I've done to help me heal is just really let myself feel all those emotions that I should be feeling and not blocking them out. Because what
Mm-hmm.
I've just learned is that if I just continuously ignore these emotions and feelings, I won't heal properly. For example, if I'm very hurt from this relationship, but I'm not letting myself feel hurt, letting myself cry, letting, myself just feel everything I should be feeling, then how do I know how to heal? How do I know I'm supposed to heal if I'm ignoring what I feel? Oh, that rhymed, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
but, but yeah, that's just what I think. Me first would let myself feel all those emotions that I need to feel, and that's just something I've just learned how to recently do. I'm a I'm very good at hiding my emotions and how I feel and not talking about
That is
those
so true.
and not talking about those things. But just slowly as I've grown up and I've gone through situations in life, it just really taught me to be vulnerable with myself. I have to be vulnerable with myself to be able to heal. And other things I do to heal is just spending time really going over things that I need to work on as an individual. A lot of time with healing, we tend to put blame, again, like put blame on others. But I think that with healing, you really have to work on your own emotions and how you deal with things and just how to better yourself as an individual and how to bring yourself into your higher form. And yeah, so letting yourself feel all your emotions, working on working on yourself, and lastly, I would just say doing things that make you happy and spending time with people that you love, and that's really something that will heal you internally too.
Honestly, everything that Emmy said is like my answer too. Like, just really facing the situation, which are your feelings, having a support system, doing things that you love, and really just being there for yourself.
Hmm.
Those are the main things that definitely help you heal. And just reiterating, like, I'm pretty sure everyone hides their painful memories away. I definitely do. And I like to call it my treasure chest in my mind, even though it's not full of treasure. It is the forbidden treasure because I don't want to touch it. I don't want
Hmm.
to see it. I just want to store it all away. And so I feel like growing up, like being older now, I am just learning how to like unlock this treasure box and like go through these traumas or these painful memories that I've been through and learning to be okay with it. Because if you just don't face them, then you're always going to have this internal struggle and you're not going to know like why are you always triggered, like why are you triggered at these moments that you are unaware of.
Hmm.
It's because it's something internally that you still haven't fixed within yourself. So it's really important. Open up that forbidden treasure. You're going to have to
Acknowledge it.
dive deep into
Hmm.
it and just know that you're going to be okay. I know that the painful memories is something that no one ever wants to go through again, but you already did go through. You already went through it. So now you got to better yourself from it.
Yes.
And I think that that's just what you can definitely do to help you heal. And so, on to the third question. What have you learned about yourself, or what lessons have you taken away from your healing process? Emmy, did you want to answer that?
Yeah. So I learned a lot about myself. Like I said, I've always known myself as a person who holds their feelings in and hides it from people until I get to like a breaking point. But when I get to my breaking point, I break alone as well. I break down alone as well. I tend to just close myself out really and like I'll just cry or do whatever I need to get my emotions out. But I'm very much of a I like to deal with these emotions alone. That's what I've learned, and I think that's what I do best as well, doing this alone so that I could really work on it myself. That's what I've learned about myself, and what I've taken away from this healing process is that you you have a good support system, and I have people around me that really do love me and they just want the best for me. So take the opportunity to yes, heal alone, work on your things, work on what you need to work on alone, but just remember that you have a support system that's there to support you, that's there to give you opinions and whatever you need to hear, that's there to give you affirmations if you need. Yeah, so that's just what I've learned, and I'm so thankful that I have all my besties with me to really help me go through this process and not just go through it alone. Sometimes you feel like, you're alone, but like I said, everybody heals differently. And for me, I do it best alone. And then I have my friends that are there for me. And I love that I have that support system with me going through really bad situations. Yeah, I'm just so thankful for all my besties and my family and, my sister-in-laws and everybody. And I'm really thankful for Lex that, I have her in my life. She's done so much for me. She's really helped me heal so much. And I'll never remember the time when my brother passed and she came over with octopus and shrimp and then we made some because we love eating spicy food together, and she brought me flowers. And yeah, I was like, wow, like she knows that food is like healing for me. So we made
Period.
spicy food together, and then we went to look at pretty views because that's also what we love doing together as well. So yeah, I definitely love Lex so much because she's done so much for me, and she's been through every little thing, every little part of my life and situations of my life. So just definitely know that you have a great support system. You have family and friends that are always there for you, and don't think that you're alone. But yeah, that's what I learned about myself and my healing process.
Yeah, absolutely. Emmy is so good at holding her feelings in. Sometimes I don't even know if she's sad because she just has like a really good neutral face. And so like I'll be like, "Hey, Bessie, you doing fine?" And then she's like, "Yeah, I'm doing fine." But I think it's her voice because like I could tell when like the tone that she's using, I'm like, okay, yep, I know something is
Oh
up.
my
But then
God.
like Bessie is really good with composing herself because I'm just like can never tell if she's sad or if she's upset or anything. She just has like a neutral face. And then like yeah, like she says, she really deals with her feelings by herself. But then, after that, I know she does open up and she lets us know. And so I really appreciate you, Emmy, for learning to open up because it just it just shows a lot of growth because it shows that you are more in control of sharing your vulnerability
Hmm.
and your feelings to people who love you. And that's what we love. That's what we love.
Yes.
A transparent feeler queen.
Honestly, yeah, what I think is like when you've truly become strong is when you let yourself feel the emotions and let yourself be vulnerable and like acknowledge those things. I feel like that's when you
Hmm.
truly become like a really strong individual because that's what makes you strong. That's how you build to becoming strong. But yeah.
Hmm. I feel like I'm kind of the opposite of Emmy when it comes to feeling. Because, like, if I feel something, I'm just
She's
gonna
gonna
feel
show
it.
it, bro. Like literally. Oh my gosh. There's been
I
so many
know.
times when I look at Lex, I'm like, Lex, do you really gotta look pissed right now? I don't think it should be looking like you about stab someone in this situation where everybody is saying, I love you, Lex. And y'all here like, I'm like, girl, right now.
I know. Okay, like, I guess, like, I don't have a RBF, but, like, when I'm upset, like, I do have a RBF, like, it just really freaking
Mm-hmm.
shows. And sometimes it's not intentional. Like, I try to hide it, but then I can't hide it. And I think that it's something with, like, my internal traumas too, because like growing up I was taught to always hide my feelings,
Yep.
and so like I always did that, and I just let other people's feelings dominate mine
Mm-hmm.
until like I just kind of had enough of it. And so I was like, you know what, I'm done. Like, this is how I'm feeling and I'm gonna show it. And so like I think I'm at a stage where I am learning to like not show too much of my negative emotion because like that's just a little bit over the top. Like everyone could tell. And I have had instances where people came up to me and they're like, "Hey, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And they're like, "Oh, well, I could just tell that you're upset." And I would just be like, "Oh, you can?" Like I'm just like, "You can?" Try to put this smile on, and then they're like, "Yeah, because you came in and like you look really pissed." And I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, definitely trying to tone that feeler in me down a bit. But I'm not saying that like I'm cloudy and thunder and rain all the time, but like when I'm upset, that's how I be getting. And so I am a huge feeler when it does come to that. But some things that I have learned about myself and lessons that I have taken through the healing process is that I definitely like to indulge in doing things. Like I always want to do things. If I'm like soaking up with myself with these thoughts, then I kind of feel like I'm drowning in them. And so I like to be active, whether it's going to the gym or if it's like even watching a TV show. So, my first breakup, what got me through that was watching The Office. Okay, like I just kept watching The Office nonstop. It was just like living in my mind rent free because I just really needed to get over this breakup. I needed to like just not think about it, and The Office was there for me. And I was just really thankful for that. And so I just learned for me is that I like to indulge in like doing activities, being active, whether that's like going out, partying and stuff like that. I know like it kind of sounds negative, but then those are like, I think it's like the first stage. And then like the
Of
second
coping,
stage,
yeah.
it'll come.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then it'll come to like, okay, actually like realizing like, oh, I'm like, I feel at peace now. I feel okay now, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And so just like Emmy mentioned, having a great support system, having people that love you, that are there for you, that care about you, they see that you're doing bad. Like they see that you're clearly not feeling well. So, they'll always be there to uplift you, they'll always be there to hang out with you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that that's something that is really important and vital to have while you are healing. And they say that time heals you, but I think that people is what heals you over time. And that's why having people in your life is so important.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so happy to have Emmy in my life. My first breakup, still remember I was crying and then she heard me crying and she came into my room and I was like, "Oh my God, how did you know?" And then like we were just
Oh my God,
laughing.
there's also a
We were
yeah, there was
laughing
a
after that.
situation too where, well, it was during freshman year of college. I was going to Lex's dorm. I was recording going there because like I was just on the way that I wanted to record, and then I was about to knock and I heard her like cry, but it was like a very like
Yeah,
she was,
yes,
yeah,
it was
like she
that.
was like screaming crying, and I recorded on my phone. I was like, oh shit! I just thought, I was like, oh my God. I was like, fuck.
Oh
Oh my
my
God. You
Lord.
know,
We
I don't know
we
if
need
you
to play
remember.
that video again.
I have it somewhere. I need to find it in my I need to, yeah, I need to find it. But there's also a situation where I was getting over this dude, right? But I wasn't like really like sad or anything. But I was talking about it with the girls, and they're like, it's okay, like to cry. And I cried for like literally like 5 seconds, and I was like, okay, I'm good. And like I was like, okay, I'm good. It's so
I
freaking
still remember
funny,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, I was like, is she really done or is she just trying to hide it from us? Because like Emmy's good at hiding her feelings. So then like we were trying to get her to cry because like we wanted her to like get over it, like come on, we need you back. Like we're trying to resuscitate you right now by getting some like getting over your crying phase. But yeah, she literally only had like a couple of teardrops. I think not even a couple. I don't know, maybe one or two. And that was it. And then we just like resumed back to normal bestie activities.
Funny shit ever. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm back. I do
So
have
people really,
heal differently.
uh-huh.
Oh no, go ahead. You finish
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Oh, I was just gonna say that people really do heal you. Like it could just take a teardrop like that.
Mm-hmm.
You healed.
You'd be like,
You're
okay, this is
done.
out. That's out. I'm healed. But I did
uh,
have one last thing to say, and it is just a reminder to you all that um, it's okay to break down sometimes from a situation that you're healing from when you thought you've already healed from it. I think sometimes when we're going through things for the first time, we truly don't know how the process is or how it feels to be healed. So one day we'll be like, oh, I'm completely healed. And then all of a sudden you're like crying because of the situation again. Like, it's definitely okay that, that happens. Give yourself time, give yourself the grace because we are going through healing. And that's also part of healing too, just accepting the situation. And yeah, so it is okay to still break down when you that you've healed from it. All right, so then that leads on to our last question. How do you know you have truly healed? And Lex, we'll have you start with this one.
um, well, how do you know if you are truly healed? Well, I feel like you don't know when you have actually healed yet because it's like a feeling where you have found peace and you're okay with what happened. Maybe maybe it'll strike you here and there. Like Emmy said, like if if you think that you are like healed from that situation, but then like you have like a breakdown again, it's okay that you do because as long as, you have found peace and you're okay with what happened, but sometimes it just strikes you here and there, but it doesn't impact you like how it did before. And I believe that as time passes, you won't feel hurt by it anymore because of the people in your life, the right people in your life that are here with you, holding your hand. So you will just really never know when you have healed because it's a feeling, it's an instinct, and yeah, that's all what I gotta say. It's a feeling and it's an instinct when you are healed. Period.
All
Emmy?
right, for me, it's similar to Lex. Healing to me is kind of like when you see a really, really pretty view, right? And you go and you take a deep breath and it just feels so refreshing and it feels so good. To me, that's what healing is like. It's like a breath of fresh air of this new you, new life, new person,
Mm,
new like this. It's just this aura you have to you. Like to say, you be glowing, you glow, and yeah, that to me is just how healing. That's what healing feels like to me. It feels like a breath of fresh air. You've taken in this
period.
breath of fresh air, this breath of healed you, this breath of loved. Like that's what it feels like to me. And then to
Mm-hmm.
to physical, not physical things, but just emotional things. I think healing is when you think back to the situation and you don't feel hatred, you don't feel those feelings anymore when you think back to the situation. You don't feel like you want to like punch this
Mm-hmm.
person. That's when I feel like, yeah, that, you've healed. It may be different for some people, like how Lex looks right now. Maybe she's healed, but she still wants to punch this person, because they deserve it sometimes. Sometimes they deserve a big ass punch because how dare they treat you like that? The
Period.
heck? But
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
but like we said, when you just feel at peace, that's when you really know that you have truly healed. Like I've been through situations where it took me like 3 years to heal from a thing, a person, and like I said, it takes
A thing.
it takes really long to heal with different situations, but when you know you've healed, you really just know. And I feel like everyone that's been through something that needs healing, you know what I'm referring to. Like, we just know what we're referring to. You just feel really at peace, and it doesn't really bother you anymore, and you just, you're good. Yeah, that's how,
Absolutely.
that's why I think how, you truly feel. That's what
Yeah,
I
it's
think. Yeah.
literally just like, yeah, it's like drinking iced coffee on a cold day and it feels right. Like all is right in the world,
Hmm.
Like cold with cold. It's like I'm enjoying everything iced.
Yeah, so that brings us to the end of this topic of time of healing.
Make sure to send us a message if you guys resonated with any of these topics that we talked about healing. We love you guys so much, and we are here for you guys every other Wednesday. And we shall
See
see
you
you soon,
soon,
girlies.
girlies.